Hey, hi, hello, guitarsters. It's December again, like it was yesterday. We're doing our Christmas songs. So I'm doing a different Christmas song tutorial every day. They're just nice and short and sweet today. So even though I'm live streaming it, I understand that not many of you will get a chance to actually join in on the chat because there aren't there isn't that much time to do it. But in case you saw any of the notifications on Twitter or Facebook or anything, or on Twitch, you can get on the live stream and ask questions. Feel free to if you want to, or make requests for other songs on future days and things like that. But anyway, welcome to Learn Guitar with Caleb. In December, like I said, we're doing a different Christmas song every day. Today we're doing What Child Is This? Now, this is a beautiful song. I'm not sure if Josh Groban was the first person to do it, but there have been a number of sort of people doing different versions because Christmas songs are sort of like free for all, anyone can do them sort of thing. Now, traditionally, I've always done this in the key of D minor. I believe that I just checked. Josh Groban does it in E flat and then he key changes to F. We're going to do it in E minor today because that's the easiest key to play. Now, so I do something a bit easier today. This song still has 5 chords, so it's not, and it's got a verse structure and a chorus structure, so it's not necessarily like as easy as a 3-chord song. I might do an even easier song tomorrow, but I just want to do this. It's such a beautiful song that I really wanted to do this. So we're going to start with E minor. Now, again, for this song, I think because it's based on the melody Green Sleeves and it's an old English style thing, I like to do a sort of a finger picking. And it's important to note that it is also in 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping? With angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch their keeping. And so that's again, I'm doing this finger picking pattern. I'll go through the finger picking pattern that I like to do. You can totally get away with just doing. So like down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. That gives a very solid 3 feel. Or down, up, down, down, down. This one I like the down, 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 up, down, up works better for the strumming pattern. I prefer the picking pattern, but if you can't do the finger picking, that's totally okay. Like strumming is perfectly fine, especially if you want to focus on your singing. Like the more things you add into it, the harder it is to do all those things competently at once. So, let's go through the chords first, because we always do that. So, E minor, just 2 fingers on the 2nd fret on the 5th and 4th strings, play all 6 strings, E minor. Then D, so that's your D chord there. So first finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, 3rd finger on the 2nd string on the 3rd fret, and your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. You only play 4 strings for that one, so. And then you go to C. So from that D, you move these 2 up here onto the 4th and 5th strings, and your 1st finger goes down there on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. And then we go to B7. Now, B7, the non-barchord version, you do it like this. What we're doing, because we're in E minor, we're actually we're not gonna play that F sharp note there. We're just gonna do just those 3, because it resolves really nicely back. It's got that open E note. So from the C, so you still got that high E note there. And it works. It's called a pedal where one note crosses across multiple chords, even if it's not in that chord. That's what we're doing there. And note serves perfectly fine in this song. It makes the B7 chord easy because it's just a 3-finger chord then. You don't have to worry with this pinky at all. So E minor, D, C, B7. If you haven't noticed, we're going down in notes. So E, D, C, B. E, D, C, B. It's the hit the road jack sequence, basically. It's used in a few other things, but it's called a Phrygian progression. But that's just some music theory for you. It's not important. If you don't understand what any of that means, that's fine. Just know that we're going down E minor, D major, C major, B7. And that's your verse sequence. Now, so let me go through it, and you'll see there's a slight difference the second time round. What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch their keeping. So the second time round, instead of doing 2 chords each chord for 2 bars, you rush the C, B, and go back to E minor to finish on for the verse. And that's, sorry, I'm going to try and raise this up here. There we go. That's a bit better. So that is our verse section. Now, the finger picking pattern I'm doing here so I'm 6, 6, 3, 2, 6, 1, 2, 6, 3, 2, 6, 1, 2. And so that can be a 6/8 or a 3/4 progression, depends on your emphasis of what notes you're emphasizing. If you go and you're hitting the bass note equally, it's very much a 6/8. But if you like, so there I'm emphasizing the 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And that's more what I'm doing here. What child is this? And D, so I go to the open D string. It will rest on. C goes to the 5th string because that's our bass note there. Mary's lap is, and then B7 is the same on the 5th string. And when I'm doing the E minor, technically I'll do the second one to make it less of the bass note. I'll do the higher E on the 4th string there. That's a trickier flourish thing. You don't have to do that to make it, if it's going to make it more complicated for you, so don't do that. If you're in a, sort of an intermediate guitar player, you might want to do that because it'll just work better. Alright, now, so that's our whole verse section. There's a few verses. And Josh Groban key changes. If you were to key change this, then you have to move it up. So F sharp minor, E major, D, and then you have to have a C sharp minor 7 chord, or like this. So either way, yeah, if you're going to put in a key change, if you can wing it, like if you can do it right, I'd recommend just using a capo. And like if you can wrangle that, otherwise you can, like, obviously you can do this in any key you want to. It just means you have to do bar chords for some point. This is the only key in which you don't have to do bar chords. Of some sort, yes. I calculated that to be so. That's why we're doing this key, so we don't have to do any bar chords. Okay, now our chorus. This we go to a G chord. So this is our fifth chord. So we've done 4 chords: E minor, D, C, B7, and this is our fifth chord, G major. So we switch to G major for the chorus. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Okay, so G, D, E minor, B7. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. Okay, so important thing happening here, you'll notice that, so again, it's kind of different both times. G, D is still our second chord every time. Then instead of going like C to B7, we go E minor, B7. It's like to remind us that we're in a minor thing happening here. And then again, haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. So it's literally, it's the same structure as the verse. We've just changed a few small things. Instead of starting, like, we still end with this quick C, quick B7, and E minor thing, getting us back into the minor key. So we just substitute the very first E minor of both lines with the G major chord. And then the first line, instead of going G, D, C, B7, we make that C and E minor because it reminds us that even though we're temporarily major, we're still in this minor key or something. So it's like not completely changing the key. It's like, let's change the key temporarily, and then it falls back to the regular key. Okay, so just let's get this straight. So our verse, E minor, D, C, B7, hit the road jack. E minor, D, C, B7, E minor. Then our chorus is G, D, E minor, B7, G, D, C, B7, E minor. So do you see the similarities there? It was almost exactly the same thing. We're just substituting a couple of chords for a couple other chords. So we're taking those E minors and making them Gs at the start, and we're making that first C as well an E minor because we replaced it with a G at the start. We don't want to completely change the key. We just want to imply a change of key. Okay, so that's the whole thing that's happening in the song. Now, and if you're wanting to, and Josh Groban does this kind of like, what child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap? On Mary's lap is sleeping. And then so it's just kind of just doing single kind of strums in the E minor, and then it throws in this little it just throws in a little bit of to bring about the chorus. This, and you don't even have to do that if you want to. So there's just optional things. Like if you really want to go true to his version, ideally you probably want to actually lower your guitar, tune your whole guitar down to semitones. You're in E flat. If you want the exact same key. If you don't, this is better. I'm pretty sure that's how they'd be doing it. Anyway, that is our whole song. So to quickly recap, we went through verses: E minor, D, C, B7, hit the road jack. E minor, D, C, B7, E minor. Chorus is G, D, E minor, B7, G, D, C, B7, E minor. And that is our whole song, verse and choruses. You can key change, make it in the key of A instead, or F sharp minor instead of E. If you want to do a Josh Groban key change, or if you want to tune your guitar down, well, do the exact same key, or you can use a capo and do it in any key you want to. Again, any other key is going to need to do some form of bar chords, like this. Or something, even like A minor, A minor, G, F. F is still a bar chord. So you have to throw that in there. So it's, that's the other key. Like maybe if you're a woman, like that might be a better key, A minor. But otherwise, this is a good one for us. So, this is because it's not particularly high either. Some of, like, You Raise Me Up goes relatively high. Like, because he keeps key changing and pushing it higher. But this one doesn't go that high. It's a nice male vocal range song. or something. If you're a good soprano, you can sing this exactly an octave higher. If you're more of an alto, you might prefer like going and doing the key of A minor instead. A minor, G, F, and E7. In which case, and then your main C major would be your chorus chord substitution. Okay, so that's a whole song. And again, like so, finger picking 6, 3, 2, 6, 1, 2, 6, 3, 2, 6, 3, 2, 6, 1, 2, 6, 3, 2, 6. 6, 3, 2, 6, 1, 2, 6, 3, 2, 6, 1, 2. And remember, if you're not good at finger picking at all and you really want to try and get good at it, it's just something you have to do a bunch without chords first, and then you slowly add chords into it. I'm just keeping the same chord here. I'm just trying different bass notes with my thumb and stuff. So again, but we can talk more about technique and stuff in the new year. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Again, if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, if you want to get in on the Twitch live stream and actually like communicate and ask questions and stuff, that's the best way to do it, I think. Especially because if you've got like, wait, how exactly, like what are you doing there? I can't quite see it as clearly, or can you explain this a bit better, or anything of that, or like that sounds familiar, like something else, like is that like this, or any questions at all, like that's the Q&A element of it is really great. We've only got, again, because these are much shorter videos and stuff, we've only got a couple of people like watching, and I think as well because getting towards the holidays, a lot of people got other things to do, and so they're more active with other things as well. But anyway, let's take it away. I'm going to play nice and slowly. You can play along with me. I'm not going to key change, and I'm just going to try and keep it nice and simple. I'm going to do finger picking. You can do strumming, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, if you want to. Okay. And so a good intro would just be to do those first 4 chords. What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch their keeping? So bring him incense, gold, and myrrh. Come, peasant king, to own him, the King of kings, salvation brings. Let loving hearts enthrone him. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. Oh, raise, raise a song on high. His mother sings her lullaby. Joy, oh joy, for Christ is born, the babe, the Son of Mary. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, What child is this who laid to rest on Mary's lap? On Mary's lap is sleep. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. And that's a really simple, beautiful version of What Child Is This? Pardon my voice, it's relatively early and I haven't really warmed up or anything at all today. I just had breakfast and my wife is downstairs doing school with the girls and stuff and putting one of them to sleep and that. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. That was What Child Is This? Nice and simple, beautiful song. We'll do something even easier tomorrow. Some more of a traditional hymn, something nice and like 3 chords or something, or like that. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Have a great one, guitarsters, and Merry Christmas.